there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Continuing off my list of the top 10 cards that I am going to miss post-rotation, giving each card one last chance to sit in the spotlight before we say goodbye to these cards once they rotate. So my number 10 was Walking Ballista. Now, Walking Ballista was number 10 for a reason. It is a very competitive card. In fact, as soon as it came out in Aether Revolt, it hit the competitive scene hard in various Winding Constrictor / Nissa Voice of Zendikar decks, and was even adopted in the early Mardu Vehicles decks. I also had this deck in many Rogue Brews because it played a pretty good control route. It was a very flexible card, had a lot of synergies. Now, I am a synergy player at heart, but the reason why that I chose Walking Ballista as my number 10 is it goes in one of my favorite janky combo decks that I built on this channel called the Lilianas Adaptation. Lilianas Adaptation is, like I said, a combo deck that tries to utilize the combination of using Liliana Untouched by Death with the enchantment Arcane Adaptation. Arcane Adaptation is going to name zombies, which makes all of your creature cards in your graveyard, hand, library, everywhere, they are going to be zombies in addition to their type. Liliana Untouched by Death's -3 states that you can cast zombie cards from your graveyard. So this can have potential loop if you have a card that you can cast for 0. Well, lo and behold, Walking Ballista fits that bill. Walking Ballista can be cast on 0, and then if you pair it with a card like Metallic Mimic, where it will enter with a +1/+1 counter, or the Diligent Excavator, it can cause an infinite loop where you either mill your opponent or deal damage directly to their face from the counter that you get from the Metallic Mimic. So without further ado, here is the deck tech for the Walking Ballista Liliana Untouched by Death Arcane Adaptation combo. Starting off the top of our list, we are going to run the Stitcher Supplier. Stitcher Supplier does exactly what this deck wants to do, which is get the Metallic Mimic, Diligent Excavator, or the Walking Ballista in your graveyard for the combo. Ideally, this deck can go off on turn number 4, but you do need to have a Stitcher Supplier on turn number 1, either Metallic Mimic or a Diligent Excavator on turn number 2, cast Arcane Adaptation on turn number 3, and then cast Liliana Untouched by Death on turn number 4. The only way that this really can happen is Stitcher Supplier coming out, milling the appropriate cards, and possibly even dying so you can find another appropriate card in your graveyard for the combo to loop. The next bit of cards are going to be very similar to Stitcher Supplier. They're going to be trying to filter out our deck to find the combo. We're going to run 4 Chart a Course, which allows you to draw 2 cards, then discard a card if you did not attack with a creature. Has that synergy with Stitcher Supplier. If you did attack, it's just pure card advantage. And then 3 Search for Azcantas. Search for Azcanta is very synergistic in this deck because Chart a Course, Stitcher Supplier, or the next card, Strategic Planning, all do a very good job of filling up our graveyard, finding that 7th card, and then flipping the Search for Azcanta. Search for Azcanta has a pivotal role in this deck, acting as a ramp spell, as when it flips, it can actually tap for mana. It also, when it does flip, is the key card to then digging out one of your combo pieces. It can find your Liliana, or it can find your Arcane Adaptation, or it can just find another Chart a Course or Strategic Planning. Strategic Planning is a card that looks at the top 3 cards of your library, you choose 1 and put the other 2 in your graveyard. This is very good about filtering through your deck and finding that exact combo piece. The next card is Champion of Wits. One of the strongest cards in many decks that I build, Champion of Wits plays a pivotal role in this deck to set up your combo. It goes through the top 2 cards of your library. You actually draw 2 cards and then discard 2 cards from your hand. This can get rid of excess copies of your combo, excess Arcane Adaptations or Lilianas, or it can simply just loot away your Walking Ballistas or your Metallic Mimics / Diligent Excavators to be recast with Liliana's ultimate. Next, of course, we have the combo pieces themselves, the Arcane Adaptation and the Liliana Untouched by Death. We've already explained how these work together, as well as either having the Diligent Excavator and or the Metallic Mimic. Once you've assembled this combo, it is time to go infinite. You simply -3 Liliana Untouched by Death, recast, or if you have one out, a Metallic Mimic or a Diligent Excavator, and then cast the Walking Ballista over and over to your heart's content until your opponent succumbs by either damage or mill. The mana base in this is very straightforward. You don't want any lands that come into play tapped. In this deck, we're running 9 islands, 8 swamps, and 4 Drowned Catacombs with a 21 land mana base. This is very easy to get away with because we do have a lot of fixing through the card draw. It's a very fun deck. It is a glass cannon shell. A lot of times it's tough for aggro decks, can run you over, and control decks can just control the combo pieces. But nonetheless, it was a very interesting thought experiment to find the right pieces to get the numbers correctly so that you can have the most consistent turn 4 and turn 5. Usually if your opponent does not mess with you, if you're going up against a mid-range green deck, it's very easy to assemble the combo before your opponent can overwhelm you. Although we have to say goodbye to Walking Ballista and a few other of the cards that are rotating from the deck, the combo stays intact with the spoiling of Chamber Sentry, another X-Spell artifact that if you do not put any mana into it, automatically comes into play and kills itself. So this combos with the Diligent Excavator, as well as cards like Cobble Paladin. So if you're looking to play this deck post-rotation, I'm sure we'll have an updated version of this on Rogue Deck Builder, and we'll be sleeving it up on MTG Arena. I hope you enjoyed this list and be looking forward to our number 9 card in the next coming days. And if you enjoyed these type of videos, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Rogue Deck Builder for future Rogue brews. Thanks for watching.